Good to see you on my IG. We're gonna continue to discuss digestive health. It's probably better if you look on YouTube. If you look on YouTube, it might be easier. Duck, I appreciate you. You're an amazing guy. And next time you're in Kaohsiung, let me know. So what are we talking about here? We're going to talk about digestive health regards to chronic constipation. Now, I'm very grateful for some of you. You guys tried my protocol, and after you tried it, you guys purchased my program. Now, I'm going to show a lot of new people here on my channel. I have a very small channel here. And when I teach people how to fix chronic constipation, they need to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. To do that, you must understand how your digestive system works. So very quick, your digestive system is just a very long piece of pipework. Do not complicate this photo. Oftentimes you're looking at different things online. They complicate digestive health. They complicate medicine. They complicate everything. And if you want to avoid that, if you want to have some common sense back into your life, you have to read these books on human physiology for yourself. Food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Your digestive enzymes start to break down the food. Food then enters your small intestines next. Your small intestine is 4.5 meters, followed by your large intestine, which is another 1.5 meters in length. Now, most people, they just don't understand your digestive system is just a very long piece of pipework. That's all it is. One more time. Food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Your digestive enzymes start to break down the food. Food enters your small intestines next. This is where nutrient absorption takes place, followed by the large intestine, which is another 1.5 meters in length, and out the back for elimination. Everyone has the same digestive system. I don't care who you are, your skin color, your education background. You gotta see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers, as Tupac would say. Now, coming back in here, just how long is this pipework? Because most people don't know. So I break it down to y'all in basketball. Here we have somebody in the dunk contest. In the dunk contest, you can see that, all right, they're trying to dunk this basketball, and this basketball is 10 feet off the floor. From that floor to the basketball rim is 10 feet off the floor. Okay, so that's roughly 3 meters in height. Now, the combined length of your small and large intestines is equal to 2 of those. So you want to stack one basketball court, one basketball hoop on top of another. This combined length is your small and large intestines combined. Now, I'm going to teach you guys how to clean this out comprehensively, because a lot of y'all, you have this picture. There's a lot of junk stuck in your colon right now. You got to get this waste material from the left picture to the right picture where you completely clean it out. When your elimination is incomplete, residues of all feces can build up in layers in the walls of the colon. As they putrefy, they can cause health problems, pain, and discomfort. I'm going to give you a protocol here that I've been using over the past 5 years, and that cleans out the small and large intestines combined. I taught this to my family members. I taught this out to hundreds of people all over the world in different languages. Okay, not just in English. I also teach this program also in Chinese. If I pick up another language, I'll probably teach it too, or get the help of some AI that can translate and dub my videos in different languages. That'll be very helpful. Now, this is what you're going to do. You're going to get these ingredients. These ingredients, you may have them in your kitchen cabinet right now. You need apple cider vinegar, once without any sugar added. Next, you're going to buy some citrus fruits. You can use limes, lemons, or grapefruit. I highly recommend using grapefruit. They're the best tasting. There's a little bit of sweetness to them. Then you're going to get some pink salt. Then you can substitute pink salt with food-grade Epsom salt. So I'm going to get Amazon right now and teach you guys which ones to buy, because you're going to find a lot of Epsom salt on Amazon, but most of them, they are not food-grade. They're usually for soaking, they're for relaxing the body. This stuff, you can't eat this. But this over here, if you want to get this food grade Epsom salt, this is the one to get. So for those of you, you're concerned about the sodium content, so you don't want to use pink salt, that's fine. But use Epsom salt. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, MgSO4, so it does not have any sodium. What are we trying to do? We're going to create a laxative effect. We're trying to clean out this pipework comprehensively. So once more, apple cider vinegar, lemons, limes or grapefruit, pink salt, food grade Epsom salt, and then coffee, black coffee is prepared separately. Coming back to this slide, I want you guys to get these tools, which will be very helpful for you on your detox journey, because I do this protocol once a week. I still do this once a week. Oftentimes, people may think about detox, something that they do, once every 6 months. Wrong. You got to think about it as cleaning out your body, just like you brush your teeth every day, you shower regularly. You got to think about how do you clean this pipework from the inside out and flush out all the nasty debris that's been accumulated over the years. Over here, you're going to get a bottle of water. This is roughly 2 liters in volume. You want to get yourself a metal mesh screener. Okay, this is important. Next, you're going to get a single press squeezer. You're going to get some measuring spoons that has it has to say the amount of milliliter on them, ml on them. Different places in the world that you go, they have different measuring spoons. And you got to have the accuracy, you have the right proportions, use this in the right proportions. This is my apple cider vinegar without any sugar added. Over here is my pink salt. You got to get yourself a stainless steel thermos. The volume's got to be over 1 liter. Okay, a liter is over a quart of volume, so you can get one that are bigger in volume. Another cup, stainless steel. This is just for putting your black coffee in. This is completely optional. You do not need to drink coffee. If you don't drink coffee, that's perfectly fine. You want to make sure these things that you have will not break. They're not materials that you can break. So over here, plastic bottle water. This is the stainless steel thermos. And then over here, you're going to have black coffee, also prepared in a container that you cannot break. The reason why you got to use product items that cannot break is because you're going to go to the bathroom multiple times. In the process of doing so, you're going to knock things over. You may knock things over. And if you knock anything like glass, ceramic, now you have glass shadow all over the floor and you might trip over them. Then you're going to still be shitting out of your behind and you're going to get cut up by the glass and you're going to end up at the ER. And they can't even figure it out because you're shitting out of your pants. And you got glass all over your body. And they said, what the hell just happened? They said, well, I watched this YouTube video online. Listen, please don't mention me. I already told y'all. You better be using some products that you cannot break. This is how you're going to mix everything into the stainless steel thermos. Coffee just goes here. Very simple. Black coffee. Do not add any sugar. Do not add any cream. Now, there is a season of fasting. You guys got to prepare yourself a little bit before. Just the night before, you're finishing dinner around 7:30 p.m. You can still drink some liquids after dinner, but you cannot eat any late night snacks. The next morning, same thing. You wake up in the morning, you can still drink some liquids, but you're not eating breakfast. Just keep your stomach empty. Have a little bit of discipline, okay? At 11 a.m., I want you to prepare this in the stainless steel thermos. I want you to add 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of pink salt, or food grade Epsom salt. So that's 25 milliliters total. A tablespoon is 15 ml, and each teaspoon is 5 ml. So when you add 2 of them combined, you get 25 ml. That's how you get that 25. Next, you're going to cut and squeeze 3 lemons or limes or 1 grapefruit. Squeeze it through the single press squeezer and then filter it through the metal mesh strainer because you want to make sure this is completely smooth. You do not want to have any seeds or any pulp that could get caught up in your throat. It'll make you feel very agitated. You may cough it up. I don't want that. Same thing with the apple cider vinegar. You're adding a 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar in the stainless steel thermos. Okay, that's 60 ml apple cider vinegar. Some apple cider vinegar It comes with some sediments, when you shake it up. So also filter through a metal mesh screener, something that you use to screen things. You're adding 2.5 cups of hot water. That's about 600 ml. Followed by another cup of room temperature water to kind of bring back down the temperature of the solution. Black coffee is prepared separately, okay, over here. This is the salt flush solution, so you guys can screenshot this so you know exactly what to do. Remember, there is a fasting timing. You gotta be about 15 hours without food, all right? And over here, you wanna make sure everything's mixed in properly. Now, when you first mix this, it's gonna be super hot. You won't be able to drink it right away. Don't worry, just set it aside and let it cool down just a little bit. But don't let it cool. It becomes like a cool, no. This gotta have some temperature to it, you understand? Because hot expands and cold contracts. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to clean out this pipework. What pipework? The small and large intestines combined. I want to clean all this trash out. I want to make sure to clean out all this debris from the small and large intestines combined. And that will give you a fresh start. Can you say fresh start? Okay? Because a lot of people, they're chronically constipated, which I will discuss all these liabilities concerned. But I want to go through the protocol first so you guys know what to do every step of the way. Over here, before you even drink this, I want you to get into a relaxed state. You want to listen to some classical music, Rachmaninoff, Piano Concerto 2, Movement 2, or your favorite pieces, I don't care what it is, that gets you into a relaxed state. Start to breathe very, very rhythmically. When you're breathing, you can feel your stomach go up and down. That type of breathing. You're very calm, you're very centered, okay? You don't have any distractions. You don't have any arrangements with your friends. You're not saying, oh, let's go meet up over here, over that, because that's going to give you stress. When you're doing this protocol, you just clear out your whole calendar, especially the first couple of times you're doing this, because you don't know what to expect. I want you guys to prepare this, and don't make any plans and let your family know in advance, so they won't be bothering you. Now, this is how you're going to drink it, okay? This is important. You can also screenshot this. What we're going to do, we're going to sip on the bottled water, hold it in your mouth, and take a bigger gulp of the salt flush solution and drink it down. And you're going to slip on black coffee, optional. I'm going to go through this one more time. This is important because a lot of people mess this up. So they fail on the salt flush protocols because number one, they don't mix the salt flush solution in the correct proportions. Next, they just drink it randomly. I've done this hundreds of times. I already make all the mistakes so you can avoid them. This bottled water right here, you're just taking a tiny sip, okay? Taking a tiny sip, kind of like this. A tiny sip. That's it. And then you're going to take a bigger gulp of the salt flush solution and drink it down. Then you're going to drink a tiny sip of that black coffee to kind of reward yourself because it's a familiar taste. So you can repeat this process over and over again. But your goal is not to finish the salt flush solution and the water at the same time. Your goal is to finish the salt flush solution first by repeating this process over and over. I'm going to go through it again. So sipping on the bottled water, hold it in your mouth, taking a bigger gulp of the salt flush solution, drink it down. Then you're going to sip on a little bit of black coffee, completely optional. Okay? Repeating steps 1 through 3 until you finish the salt flush solution first. And it's not a rush, it's not a race. You can take 45 minutes, you can take an hour and a half. I don't care how long that it takes. And gradually you're going to be able to put down the salt flush solution and put it into your stomach. You want to create a very relaxed environment because when you first start drinking this, your body doesn't even know what it is. So you may be a little bit freaked out. So here we are again. You haven't been eating for 15 hours, right? So most of the food is at the tail end of your small intestines, trying to work its way into the large intestines. Now, we are going to put down the salt flush solution. It's going to go down to our stomach. And then over here, when you're more relaxed, you'll allow the salt flush solution to pass through the pyloric sphincter. And the salt flush solution is going to begin cleaning out the small intestines. Your small intestine is a complete mess. It is full of trash, it's full of debris, it's full of microplastics. The surface area of your small intestines is large as a football field. Imagine you've ever been to a football game, okay? There's a microcosm sitting inside of you right now. And most of us don't even know how do we clean it out so they can restore the functions of our body. Next, gradually the sulfurous solution is going to work its way into the large intestine, which begins on the right side of your body. This is the ascending portion of your colon, transverse, followed by the descending portion, and out the back through elimination. You're going to have these poop milestones. This is what you can expect. I want you guys just to be relaxed, and eventually you may do a little bit of stretching. You know, sometimes when I'm drinking my sulfurous solution, I may be watching like a YouTube video, something that takes my mind off what I'm doing now. Maybe something that has a little bit of humor, you know, like a stand-up comedy or crowd work, you know, Nate Jackson, you know what I'm saying? But I'm so focused on drinking the sulfurous solution because your goal is to finish the solution, and you can't wait until the solution is cooled down. If it's way too cool, I want you to reheat it and continue drinking it. Because hot expands, cold contracts. We're trying to drink this warm solution down. It's not going to be burning your mouth, but there's going to be some temperature to it. And as you drink this down, it may even make you sweat a little bit, and that's perfectly normal. Poop milestones, your solids are first going to come out. After your solids going to come out, it's going to transition over to soft poop, okay? And over time, it's going to get softer and softer. It's going to transition to really, really soft poop. Pay attention here. When it transitions to very, very watery, just brown water coming out, I want you to pound this water safely. Okay, this is way how you do it. You're going to drink this bottle of water and then hold it in your mouth, and you're going to exude the air through the nose. There's going to be a lot of air, but you want to make sure you exhale the extra air through the nose, so you're not going to be stuffed up with so much air. You're drinking all this water, you know, you're chugging it down. Don't do that. You're going to do it in paces, in segments. You drink it, exhale any excess air, then drink this down. You're adding more water pressure into your digestive tract because you've basically cleared out your small and large intestines. Now more is coming, because right now I want you to add that water pressure through the digestive tract, and it'll rush through the small and large intestines combined, which will bring out more trash out of your small and large intestines. What you're going to experience is what we call a diarrhea tsunami. A diarrhea tsunami where you're just spewing out all this nasty stuff that's been encrusted in your small and large intestines for a very long time. And most people have this. Most people do not know how to get rid of it. And this is not something you just do one time. This is something that you will do for the rest of your life. I don't care if it's once a week, once every 2 weeks. I still do it once every single week. Every week. There are only 52 weeks in a year. I schedule all my other events around this because of how important it is. If it's important for you, you'll do it, right? You have schedules for everything else. You get up and go to work, right? When your car hits a certain mileage, you take it in for car maintenance, get your oil changed. You got to think about your body the same way. You brush your teeth regularly, you shower regularly. And when you're on the bathroom, here are some small little techniques that you can also deploy. Now, the human being, we are not designed to use the bathroom at a 90 degree. That's what's been causing a lot of digestive problems over the years. You can get yourself a sturdy cardboard box, okay, instead of buying the squatty potty, but I want you to somehow mimic this angle so you're more in a squatting position when you're on the toilet. And another thing that you can do, you can lift up this toilet seat. When you lift up this toilet seat, you're not squeezing against your anus. A lot of times people are sitting on this toilet seat, and this toilet seat itself is squeezing on your butt cheeks, and the butt cheek squeezing is going to squeeze in your anus. So your poop doesn't have it's not having an easy time to exit. If you ever visit Asia, a lot of our public restrooms still have squat toilets, and using them is like night and day because you don't have to huff and puff. You're not begging and pleading. You're not praying to the Almighty just to have a bowel movement. You're in and out. You just squat, get into that squatting position. And some people say, well, you look very primitive like a caveman. Well, do you want your waste material to go outside of your body? What's more important? Waste material out or people making fun of you for looking primitive? Let me tell y'all, you guys got to get your waste material out. We're going to be hitting up some very hard-hitting liability concerns and also practical pessimism in a little bit. But first, I'm going to go through my social media. I want to make sure how you guys are doing. I'm also streaming on YouTube, making sure all my stuff is streaming correctly. And over here, okay, so if you have any questions online? Yeah, this is your opportunity if you have any questions. Because oftentimes you don't have anybody to talk to when you are maybe watching a YouTube video. But I want to provide that for y'all, for those of you want to improve your digestive health. Let me tell y'all, this has a lot to do with it. You want to clean out your small and large intestines. And after you clean it all out, you'll notice that the water color will become lighter and lighter and lighter. So you've been doing the self-flush protocol. You've been flushing out all the nasty debris out of your body. Now, yes, you drink that bottle of water, you can drink it all the way through, okay? It's not going to harm you. Recognizing what just happened. You had all this trash inside the small and large intestines. They exited. The self-flush solution that you prepared earlier is also in the toilet. Now as you're drinking this water, it's also rushing through from your mouth out your anus. So the water becomes lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And that's what you want to look for. If it's not really light colored, you can add more water. You can get a second bottle of water. And instead of rushing from where you're sitting to the bathroom, rushing back and forth, sometimes I just take the bottle of water into the bathroom. I got the ventilation going. I got the fan open. I can feel the fan turn on. I got the windows open. Because when you're having this diarrhea tsunami, the smell is absolutely horrendous. That's why you need to warn your loved ones in advance. It is so horrendous that you might choke on it, okay? Because you have no idea how much stress has been accumulating inside the body for so many years. And you've neglected it, and you may have this problem here and this problem there. You go to the doctors, they can't figure it out. They'll be like, oh, you might have this genetic predisposition. Learn to see your body mechanically rather than just a series of conditions. Okay, I always talk about them in presentations, but it's always very, very helpful to remind ourselves, listen, there are a lot of things that I can control when it comes to my digestive health. I'm not a victim. So I'll come back to that later. So over here, so any of you on my Instagram, I appreciate y'all if you just put in your comments and questions. You got Flay, Chow, Z. We got, I don't know if people are on Melody. If you're any questions, just ask. You can ask any questions. Find me on YouTube. And just want to make sure. Oh, okay, my Rumble is also working. That's good. I made it click the button. That's not. All right, no worries. I'll come back to all this later. Now, we're going to talk about some exciting liabilities concerns, because a lot of y'all, you don't look into this. You think that, oh, I'm only 1 or 2 days chronically constipated, so a lot of my family members, co-workers, you think that is somehow normal. Well, 1 to 2 days will turn to 2 to 3 days, 3 to 4 days, turn to 5 to 6 days. Some people do not use the bathroom for a whole week at a time. eventually this is going to be you. You're going to be huffing and puffing on the toilet, begging and pleading, and after all that work, you get a little bullshit pellet out the back end, and you wonder where all the food goes. You're like, where did it all go? I can guarantee you chronic constipation is a huge market, and nobody has really solved it. I've done the keyword analysis. People all over the world are keying in constipation in different languages, and this keyword search volume is always going up over the years. Despite there are plenty of medications, OTC laxatives, medication strength people are prescribing over the years, telling you what, it is not working. Otherwise, you will see a contraction of this market, right? If it's working so well, these medications are working so well. Oh, one thing I want to mention is after you do my protocol, you also want to take some probiotics. Probiotics are important, so after you do my self-flush protocol, you don't have to buy these. Just find ones that you work with and it works well for you, and you want to recoat back up your digestive tract before eating healthy foods. And when you first start eating, you might eat something soft like congee, like papaya, just eat some fruits. Don't go hard and heavy into eating junk food. It doesn't work like that. After you start to clean out your digestive tract, your body will begin to revolt if you start putting in trash foods. Don't just blame the environment, don't blame allergies, don't blame some things that you cannot see. Most people, your body doesn't respond anymore when you're putting in trash food, because if you abused it, you bullied it for so long, the body's like, this person doesn't care. Just like somebody that smokes for the very first time, nobody likes smoking. You might be wondering, the first time that you try smoking, you may be wondering, why would anybody do this? But as you can see, most people, they go down that path, one pack after the next, one pack after the next, and they suppress what the body is supposed to do. It's telling you, you should not be doing this. When you're eating healthy foods, you will have less of these allergies and problems going forward. You want to improve upon that. That will be very helpful on your detox journey. Because I want you guys to think about long term, not just fixing chronic constipation, but how are you going to eat moving forward? Do you have certain things or thought process or certain diet plans you hold on to, like a cult with a cultish behavior, with some religious fervor, but it's not working for you, but you still keep holding on to it? Some things you gotta let go, okay? Now, the probiotics that I use is the cheapest, probably the cheapest on the market, and it works well for me. So it's fine. You don't have to buy expensive ones. Now, coming back to liabilities, concerns, and practical pessimism, when you don't resolve your chronic constipation, your colon is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm going to talk about that. Some people may end up with a toxic megacolon, okay? Because it's this waste material that has a very tough time exiting out of the body. Now, the toxic megacolon, it is life-threatening. Complications, inflammatory bowel diseases. These diseases can be painful and cause permanent damage to the large and small intestines. IBDs include ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, and infections caused by this other colitis. Toxic megacolon is characterized with swelling and dilation in large intestine due to the inflammation and accumulation of large amount of gas. I'm not a medical doctor. None of this professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All I can tell y'all, this right here, they extracted this out of a human body. This did not come out of a silverback gorilla. It's more than gas. It is fecal matter. It is trash. All this food you've been eating over the years, still not exiting. So what it does is that it gets more compacted. You see how dilated the large intestine is? And it just continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the person has all these problems throughout their digestive tract. And the doctor's like, well, there's nothing that we can do but just to remove this completely out of the body. Now, what happens when you remove this out of the body? You're going to have other medical procedures down the line, depending how severe your surgery was. So coming back to this photo, the ascending portion, transverse, and descending portion of your colon. Let's just say something went wrong with the descending portion of your colon. Okay, maybe it's incredibly inflamed, okay, for whatever reason. So the doctors, they cut it out. They cut this out, and then they reattach the remaining sections. just like that. There is a lot of plug and play in the medical industrial complex. You guys want to recognize these procedures before you ever have any problems, so you can do your best to avoid them. For people, you are chronically constipated, maybe 1 to 2 days, my protocol may be very helpful for you. Some of y'all, many of y'all, are way too far down the line. You need to look into a colon hydrotherapy, and I'm going to teach you guys what this is all about right now before I come back into liabilities concern. So this is colon hydrotherapy. You lay there on this apparatus, okay? So what they're trying to do is they want to clean up your colon. Clean up your colon by doing what? They're going to insert hot water through your back end, through your rectum. They want to somehow loosen up all that dead materials sitting inside your large intestine. And it's going to go outside your body a little bit at a time. Some of you are so inflamed, so chronically constipated, you may need to go in every single day for an entire week. That's how bad your situation is. I'm just saying, some people, they just wait till it's too late. And you must communicate with your colon hydrotherapist very clearly. Tell them exactly what you're happening, what's going on with you, how long you've been constipated, what have you been eating. Because if they put in this water pressure too quick, you may experience perforations in the colon. And now your old poop is going outside of your digestive tract. And you may go into sepsis shock and end up at the ER. I am not joking. I am not joking. So even my protocol, it may not be right for everybody. It may be right for people that are just minor, a little bit chronically constipated. That's it. And you have the presence of mind, recognizing, listen, I could go down a very dark path if I don't fix this right now. I may end up with a toxic megacolon. And from there, depending on how severe that surgery was, they remove a part of my colon. And now I got to do a hemicolectomy. Or somebody could do a colostomy. Something over here, a descending portion of their colon is messed up. They remove it completely. After they remove it, you're like, well, how does the poop go outside of the body? Great question. They put a hole over here through the skin into your colon. Okay? So a surgeon removes a portion of the colon. Now, it is necessary to attach the remaining colon to the outside of the body in a procedure colostomy, creating a hole, a stoma, in the abdominal wall, allows waste to leave the body. If you ever visit a hospital in the ICU, or you're just walking around in the halls with people that are staying there for an extended period of time, many of them have this. Because they didn't fix chronic constipation. A lot of them did not fix chronic constipation early. That's all I'm saying. Over here, something happened to the ascending portion of the colon. Okay, so the doctor says, well, what we got to do here is fix this, remove this part completely. This portion of the colon is completely removed. This portion right here is attached to your small intestine. So what they did is, all right, we're going to just put this over here. You can see we're going to attach the small intestine over here. This is a right hemicolectomy. There's so much to learn, so many different procedures to learn. And this is your appendix right here. Okay, so this part attached to the small intestines, they just remove this part and reattach it. More plug and play. More plug and play. Is that what you really want? Earlier, we talked about how this person had their colon completely removed, right? So over here, this section completely removed. You may wonder, what do they have to do now? They may have to do something called an ileoanal anastomosis. After the colon's removed, the surgeon may connect your small intestine to your anus. They're going to use a portion of that small intestine and create a pouch. All right. This allows you to expel waste normally, although you'll likely have several watery bowel movements daily. One of the functions of your large intestine is to draw out excess water before it becomes fecal formation out the back for elimination. Now, when you lose that function, right here, the food It just falls out. You may have to wear adult diapers for the rest of your life. Okay, because you may not even feel a bowel movement's coming on, or you may just have to rush to the bathroom. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, very embarrassing, and also, let me tell y'all, this will create so much relationship strain if you don't fix this. If you don't fix this, it will create a lot of relationship strain. So you guys want to just check out this comedian. I like to watch comedians. I don't know about y'all. So there's a lady, her name is Kelsey Cook. She was explaining about her digestive problems and also her husband. So Kelsey Cook, and then irritable bowel syndrome, or IBD. All right. So if I type that in, IBS. You guys gotta watch this. She has IBS, and the way that it shows up is she has diarrhea. All of a sudden, she just has this, she needs to go to the bathroom. She and her husband, they were living at a place where it only has one bathroom. Her husband has chronic constipation, and the doctors just tell him, all you gotta do is you gotta be sitting on that toilet. Don't force anything out. So he could be on the toilet 35, 45 minutes, and she really needs to go. So she texts her husband that she needs to go. Anyway, he kind of just ignore her. Well, she has no place to go, right? So she finds herself a cardboard box and let herself rip. Okay? There's so many problems in the world of digestion. If you don't fix it early, it's only going to get worse, and it's going to cause a lot of relationship strain. A lot of people that have foul body odor. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter if you put on the best expensive colognes, if you're showering properly, even if you use laundry detergents, you're gonna always have nasty smell exuding through the skin, because chronic constipation, this is what happens. It's still sitting there putrefying in your system, and it's going to exude. It's going to ooze through your skin. That's what happens. So that's another root cause of foul body odor people often overlook. Now I'm going to take a small little break. I just want to check through my social media. Make sure you guys don't have any pressing questions. So, thank for those of y'all jumping on this call, and thank you for those individuals, who try my protocol and actually support my programs. I really appreciate you. Continue to watch my videos, and I try to explain this to the best of my ability so you guys can just use this protocol, and if it works, support me on my journey, right? So I can give you guys even better content moving forward, because there is just so much to detox. I'm still learning. Detoxing is about removing the waste material out of the body. Most people, they're focused on supplementation. Across the board, if you're on social media, there's so many different supplement products people are promoting. They said that the reason why your body is like this, because you're missing this one supplement. If you had this, you would be doing great. Now, I used to think like that as well. There's always something that is missing. Now, this also attaches to this notion of you're not enough, you're never enough. So it's easy for you to get suckered into this thought pattern, oh, I just have to buy the supplement, my life will be great. Well, it doesn't work like that. You first need to remove the waste material out of the body. Then you think about supplementation. Restore the functions of your body now by recognizing your body is a series of pipes, especially when it comes to the digestive system. The only difference between me and you, slightly, would be the length. Because some people are taller, there are people that are much taller than me, some people that are shorter than me, right? But we all have this digestive tract. And this digestive tract needs to be cleaned out regularly, consistently, okay, diligently, putting it on the calendar. And that you might make it. And then you might make it, without so much pain and discomfort moving forward. Let's see what I can do to make this smaller a little bit. Maybe that'll be, see how that looks. Don't know anybody asked any questions. I'm just checking real quick. So those of you who asked your questions. Alright, back to some practical pessimism. This lady here in Taiwan, she was suffering from chronic constipation. Discovers her colon severely displaced. This is what a severely displaced colon looks like. Okay, so this is the ascending portion, and then it doesn't really go transverse. It kind of hooks back down into a J, kind of got a kink in the hose. Then it moves its way back to the upside into her lungs, probably causing a lot of discomfort. She may have trouble breathing because what's happening here? This is just waste material not exiting out of the body. So when she's standing up, all this waste material must fight against gravity just to get to this point in the juncture of her large intestines and finally down for elimination. Is that what you want moving forward? Because you put it off for so late, for so long? And she was only 23, so she may be suffering from chronic constipation in her high school days. Put it off, 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 put it off. Next, talk about diverticulitis. It occurs when pouches called diverticula start to form in the GI tract and become inflamed and infected. This condition occurs in the Western population and can be seen in 10% of people over the age of 40 and 50% of people over 60, while there are millions and millions of people over the age of 60. The rate of disease typically increases with age. Scientists believe that this condition is due to not eating enough fibers. Not eating enough fiber leads to constipation, which puts extra pressure on the colon walls, and this causes diverticula or bulges to form in the weak areas of the colon. The risk factors for diverticulitis may include age over 40, male, overweight, eating a low fiber diet, eating a higher fat and red meat, not enough exercise, taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin, ibuprofen, steroids, opioids, and smoking. Moreover, the signs and symptoms of this condition include pain, tenderness in the left lower side of the abdomen over here, the descending portion of the colon, right? Nausea, vomiting, chills, cramps in the lower abdomen, constipation or diarrhea, and rectal bleeding. Sometimes it could be a combination of these. So over here, something went wrong in the descending portion of the colon. When waste material does not exit out of the body, what you'll get is inflammation. And chronic inflammation, you'll begin to have these bulges that will form. When you get these type of bulges, doctors call it diverticulitis. You know, I have other information, root cause of this, other root causes of this, possible root causes. And what I wanted to mention is that I'm just reading these different medical websites, medical texts. Doesn't mean I agree with what they say, because oftentimes when you go to the doctors, what they say is, you're chronically constipated, what you need to do is eat more fiber. Eat more fiber. Eat more fiber. It doesn't make any sense. If you can resolve this, if you can't not get the waste material out of the body, go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, and you're eating more fiber on top of chronic constipation, you're going to suffer more. You're going to make your colon dilate even more. It's going to contribute to a potential toxic megacolon. Do you guys understand? Kind of see where my thinking is at. Next, we have something called ulcerative colitis. Over here, ulcerative colitis is a chronic condition, happens when you have inflammatory inflammation in your colon. Now, what are the symptom flare-ups? People experience symptom flare-ups followed by periods of remission without symptoms. Signs and symptoms include diarrhea, bloody stools, abdominal cramping, and weight loss. Treatments include medication and surgery. These different signs and symptoms are very, very common across the board. right? Kept on mentioning diarrhea, bloody stools, nauseous, unexplained weight loss. Over here, you have the colon. Over here, you have ulcerative surfaces. So for loads of y'all, you're constantly taking antibiotics. You need to find the root cause because that's not going to help you. Your probiotics keeps the coating, your microbiome. It's kind of like a coating through your digestive tract in your small and large intestines. That's going to help you digest and also push things along. Okay? Because bacteria, they serve a very important function. Probiotics, what they do, they start to break things down. Okay? They help you decompose, right? And when you don't have that, you're losing that coating over the surface of that colon, and that's how you can get that inflammation. Over here, you have Crohn's disease. This is another gastro disease, part of the conditions known as inflammatory bowel diseases. This condition occurs when there's inflammation in the small intestine and colon. The main symptoms of Crohn's disease are diarrhea, stomach aches or cramps, blood in the stool, tiredness or fatigue, and weight loss. It is thought to believe Crohn's disease is caused due to genes, a problem in the immune system, smoking, a previous stomach bug, and an abnormal balance of gut bacteria. The risk factors for this condition include family history, smoking, certain medications like antibiotics, birth control pill, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin, ibuprofen, and a high-fat diet. Now, over here, you have inflammation in the small and large intestines, and most people cannot figure out what is going on. Right? Oftentimes, the doctors say, "Oh, it must be some type of inflammatory bowel disease. It could be attached to your genes. Okay, runs in the family." Why don't we ask a different set of questions? What is the nutrition like? What is how consistent are your bowel movements? Is that an important key performance indicator in your daily routine? You have many different important KPIs in your routine right now. Is bowel movements one of them? If it isn't, you're going to have to do something to make it important again, to restore that function. If you don't, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be straining on that toilet because you're chronically constipated, and you may end up with a rectal prolapse. Don't laugh, many people have this, and this also contributes to foul body odor. What is the prolapsing of the rectum? When people are straining on the toilet for a very long time, what happens is that the anus actually turns inside out. The rectum actually turns inside out because they're straining on it for such a prolonged period of time. Many old people, this is what they struggle with on a daily basis. No joke. Oftentimes there's this praying and begging, pleading to God. It's like, all I want today is just to eat a healthy meal and go to the bathroom. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Many people have this prayer and they still cannot get it done, even though doctors gave them laxatives. They try some of them. They may work in the short term, but they stop working. Otherwise, you will see the market for constipation contract if it works so well. Despite all these different medications that are out there, people still have chronic constipation. Or people may get anal fissures. Of course, it sounds very uncomfortable because it is. Okay? And what happens, all the excess straining people are doing on the toilet, they're going to get different breakages, cracks, and splittings in the anus. Doesn't matter if you're talking about a rectal prolapse or anal fissure. When you talk to the doctor, what do they usually say? While several factors are thought to be linked to rectal prolapse, there's no clear-cut cause. An estimated 30% to 67% of patients have chronic constipation. Wouldn't that be a pretty clear-cut cause? Infrequent stools and severe straining. An additional 50% have diarrhea. In the past, this condition was assumed to be linked to giving multiple birth times by vaginal delivery. However, as many as 35% of patients with rectal prolapse never gave birth, and it can occur in men. There might be some genetic predisposition to this condition. In other words, some patients are more prone based on their genes to develop this condition while others don't. See, this is where I gotta call cap. Many conditions around the rectal area, rectal colorectal area, has a lot to do with chronic constipation. You're straining on the toilet, you are sitting on that 90-degree, which I tell people you got to do something else. You might have to install a squat toilet in your house, or you might have to get yourself a squatty potty, or just find something sturdy, or you might get some slippers that has, a lot of height to them. Okay, do whatever you can to get yourself in that angle. Another problem that I used to have, very embarrassing, are simply hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids or piles, these are swollen veins inside your rectum or outside of your anus, can cause pain, anal itching, and rectal bleeding. Symptoms often improve with at-home treatments, but on occasion, people need medical procedures. Eating more fiber can help prevent hemorrhoids. See, there is that common solution that people just keep on regurgitating. If it works so well, constipation would have been fixed completely. If you kept listening to the doctors, they tell you to take these meds, tell you to eat more fiber, right? We should not even have chronic constipation, but we do. And this keyword search volume just keeps on going higher and higher in all languages. Now, what is a proctologist? Now, most people, I'm sure they do not look forward to seeing a proctologist, just like you don't look forward to see a dentist. These are highly specialized medical doctors who are mostly called colorectal surgeons. These experts, they diagnose and treat conditions of the entire gastrointestinal tract, but specifically issues involving the rectum and anus. Okay, so over here you go see a proctologist and they look at a lot of ass all day, okay? And I'm sure a lot of them, they're like, man, it really smells down here, because it does. Because a lot of y'all, you got a combination of anal fissures, you got rectal prolapsing on you, you got hemorrhoids. It's a complete mess down there. And what do? They usually say, oh, if you are just beginning the signs of hemorrhoids, they give you some preparation H or some other cream. These are corticosteroids, anti-inflammatory, also immunosuppressants, kind of suppress those symptoms. Symptom flare-ups comes and goes because they're using corticosteroids. Corticosteroids, their function is to suppress the immune system. Now, proctologists, they may also do different medical procedures. They can remove, these hemorrhoids. They can somehow tuck back in your prolapse or somehow patch up your anal fissure. Listen, guys, I was going down this dark path because I already have hemorrhoids. It was coming and going, and I was using preparation H, and let me tell you, it's very embarrassing. I'm very grateful I no longer have any of these problems because you gotta fix that problem upstream. Let's just say the proctologist, he was able to go through here and fix up all these things for you. He says, okay, over here you got some hemorrhoids. We'll be able to clean that out. Okay, then we're gonna patch up the anal fissure. But the problem upstream is still your chronic constipation. If you don't fix this, you're gonna continue to strain on that toilet and new hemorrhoids are going to develop. New anal fissures, okay? And you're gonna prolapse again. That's what happens. I'm just gonna tell you guys straight up. You're gonna have to find your way to resolve chronic constipation. You're gonna restore that KPI. What is a KPI? Going to the bathroom regularly, daily, multiple times. If you're eating twice a day, you're going twice a day. That's what happens, okay? And if you cannot restore that function, you're gonna have to do it some way, somehow, especially when you catch these signs early. Now I'm gonna share with you guys a lot of liability concerns. Just be ready for them. I'm gonna look through my social media real quick. See if any of y'all have questions I can help answer. And I'm not gonna check my Oh yeah, I'm also on Twitch. I'm gonna check that real quick. Most people on Twitch are probably playing video games and stuff. You know, I'm just coming in from out of nowhere discussing digestive health. Yeah, this can help some of you out there. Fantastic, because somebody helped me on YouTube. So his name is Josh Mason. You guys can look him up. Great guy. And he taught me about the selfish protocol. Of course, you know, I have some slight modifications to his way of doing things because at the end of the day, you got to find your way. Okay, I can give you some guidance. I think my way has been very consistent. I taught this to random strangers online, and they can be very successful their first time if they follow through on my directions. You know, if they mix in the sulfur solution in the right proportions and they're drinking it the way I've instructed, instead of just randomly mixing things in. I've talked to people here in Asia, and then if they mess up, they're like, oh, I wasn't successful with it. I'll tell them, do you have measuring spoons? No. They're not even measuring them correctly. Over here, liability is concerns across the board. I want to show y'all there are many people around the world. They've gone down the path of chronic constipation for a very long time. They've already been to the doctors. They've seen the specialists. They've taken prescription strength medications. Nothing is working. So I want to read these for y'all, and I want to put a healthy dose of fear in you, because a lot of you don't have enough fear. You don't take action because you don't have enough fear. Sorry to be crude, but there's a big lump of poop that won't come out. What do I do? Anyone, any idea, suffer from constipation now and again, especially when I have been eating crap for the past couple of weeks. I've been constipated. When I go to the toilet, nothing is coming out. For if it does, it's hard. I've also been bloated, especially upper tummy, and like a trap wind feeling. Plus, since yesterday, not really got an appetite. Tried Ducales, never really worked. Eating more healthy, and now trying lactulose since Tuesday, but feel like it's just making me fart. Also to mention, been having some stress and anxiety with family members, been in hospital. What can I do to get my tummy back to normal? Thanks. Consultant has been putting me on prochloropride and glycerol suppository. Any reviews? So these medications, these are prescription strength. You actually have to get, yet the doctor has prescribed them. Hi everyone, had a horrible couple of days. A lot of wet would come out and I couldn't push out what was behind it. But after many attempts making me sore, I finally did go. What I wanted to ask is, do you ever feel queasy to your tummy because of constipation or bowel problems? Sometimes I think it's all the worry and the stress that constipation causes. Oh boy, let me tell you what. Problem on top of problems. What else do we have here? Has anyone vomited fecal matter because it couldn't go down? What did you need to do about it? Question mark. Okay? So this person says, please go to the ER. Yes. If you are experiencing feculent vomiting, which is possible, it is on the radar screen. You must find a way to fix this. But you can see this person has let it go for so long. Once again, I'm going to reset my Instagram real quick. Guys, give me 1 sec, okay? So how Instagram works is that every single time I do a live stream, it only gives me 1 hour. Now, if you know how to fix that, you let me know, because I'm not an expert with this. I only started streaming fairly recently. It gives me practicing my public speaking skills. And over here, let's just say Instagram, I need to modify this real quick. First, I want to stop it. Stop my Instagram. Copy, modify. So I think that's the same, but over here, this changes. See, over here. And I want to start again. After I start it, I want to go live. So over here, if you're on my YouTube, just ask your questions in the chat. I'll be able to get to it in a little bit. So we were talking about feculent vomiting. What is feculent vomiting? People are vomiting up their fecal matter. How does that happen? Well, when you're chronically constipated, okay, this is your colon. If it has no way of getting out, it gets enlarged. It gets backed up. It gets really, really backed up. And in severe cases, all that fecal matter begins to work its way back through your small intestines, through your stomach, and now you're doing reverse peristalsis. You're vomiting up your own poop. Feculent vomiting. It doesn't happen often, but you have to recognize, what am I dealing with? My digestive system is a very long piece of pipework. What I eat through my mouth, it must exit out the back as elimination. A lot of people cannot perform this basic KPI as they get older. And I'm going to share a lot of liabilities, concerns with you guys, put a healthy dose of fear in you so you guys fix your chronic constipation. Because once you start to fix your chronic constipation, all these other problems that you used to have begins to go away. I'm not saying it's going to be magic somehow. Everything is going to go away in one day. There's going to be some ups and downs along the way. If you decide to go on this detox journey, there are going to be some bumps along the way. But as long as you know the trajectory of your life is going in the right direction, keep doing it. The vomiting of feces is an unusual symptom associated with gastrocolic fistulas, coprophagy, and violent reverse peristalsis. Okay, so feculent vomiting is usually due to mechanical intestinal obstruction, but it can be due to a paralytic obstruction, adynamic ileus. So over here at one hospital in a 2-year period, LA County Harbor General Hospital, there were 23 cases of feculent vomiting. That's disgusting. So people are showing up at the ER and then they're throwing up their own feces. Okay, so over here, got some other problems. What's the longest you've gone without poop? Somebody said 4 weeks was hell. I was throwing up feces. Unblocked myself with suppositories eventually. That's messed up. That is messed up. I'm so tired of this. This morning I was driving and all of a sudden it hits me. I didn't make it to the bathroom, all over my shorts and car seat. I'm so incredibly exhausted from this. I'm to the point of wearing adult diapers. There was a lot of mucus. It's just normal. So this over here, this person's very similar to what Kelsey Cook experienced. She just has diarrhea that just shoots out of her. There's no warning, okay? I'm so backed up, my stomach is very bloated. Looks and feel I'm 9 months pregnant. This is affecting my quality of life, getting depressed. I try so many things and still not able to clean out. Garbage not exiting out of the body. Recognize these signs early. Over here, I'm impacted. All home remedies, OTC, laxatives, enemas, dietary changes, additions, nutritional oils, quit working last month all of a sudden. The ER couldn't reach it, and their enemas didn't work. The highest doses of lenses does nothing, and the Miralax colonoscopy prep is just giving me overflow diarrhea. Small bits are coming off the impaction, probably from hospital enemas I got Saturday. What else can I do? I feel like impaction is just way too big to get out, and it seems like nothing is softened enough. So at some point, you'll continue to find these Facebook groups or even Reddit forums online. People are posting anonymously. They're sharing their problems with the world because they're at the end of their wits. They've tried everything, as you can see right here. Doesn't matter if they're using OTC stuff or the highest dosage of prescription strength medications for chronic constipation. Nothing works. End of their ropes. Hello, I've been struggling with severe chronic constipation for a couple of years now, but it's only gotten worse over the last 6 months or so. I've been prescribed Trulance and Linzess, highest dosage for both. And neither of these medications are working very well for me at this point. I can pass a little bit of stool, but not much, so I'm constantly extremely backed up. I have to spend about half my waking hours lying down because I'm so bloated and nauseous and often in pain. Think about the mentality of this person. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of this person. This person is not you, but it could be you if you don't fix your problem. As far as OTC laxatives, nothing really works there either. Ducalask, enema, suppositories, magnesium citrate, nothing works. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy today, but couldn't keep the bowel prep down. The procedure had been rescheduled for a month from now, and one of the nurses at my GI office prescribed a pill-based cleanse. The pill is called Sutab, and I was warned ahead of time that patients often have trouble completely emptying their bowels with this pill, so given my struggles, I am doubtful that this will actually work for me. Just that desperation, you see, this pain, desperation, lack of direction, lack of hope, it becomes hopeless for many people out there. Here's my question. Has anyone here gone to the point where nothing works? Meds or OTC laxatives, and had to have some sort of in-office medical procedure done? I'm so sick and so miserable. What about professional colonics? I'm not even sure how those work. If anyone has any advice or experience with this, I'll be very grateful if you could share with me what you ended up doing and what the outcome was like. Thank you. Many people around the world have this problem, and we're only dealing with one small Facebook group that's got tens of thousands of people in them. Very, very active. Just imagine all the other Facebook groups or Reddit forums, different groups that are all around the world in different languages. They're trying to solve this one problem. Over here, I'm going to check my real quick. So if you're on YouTube, just ask your questions. Earlier in this presentation, I already went through the protocol, and right now, I just want to continue to share with y'all liabilities, concerns, and just very practical analogies. Your digestive system is like the plumbing of your kitchen. This is your garbage disposal. If you have any problems with garbage disposal, you must fix it immediately or get somebody to fix it. Get your plumber to fix it, because if you do not fix it, this nasty smell is going to invade your whole house, because there's so much junk trapped inside this machine, and it's not going through this pipe, right? It's not exiting out. So what you guys got to do whatever you can to clean out this pipework in your own body. Or another analogy that you have is simply with your toilets, right? Maybe some kid, they don't know what they're doing, they're throwing their favorite action heroes down this toilet and they try to flush it down. The action heroes went down, but it's blocking this pipe. So you go to the bathroom, you drop a deuce in there, and you try to flush it down, and nothing is going down. And it begins to overflow on you. I'm sure you experienced it to a certain degree where you flush the toilet and it doesn't go down, and now you're really praying. You're like, no, 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 no. And it overflows on you. This nasty smell just invades your whole floor or your entire house. Like, you just walk into the house, something smells, right? Because there is fecal matter all over the kitchen, over your bathroom floors. Same thing with this pipe, with your sink. You've been spitting in the sink all day, every single day, washing your face, brushing your teeth, and if this pipe gets clogged up in any way, you're going to have to crack it open. You have to clean it out. And just the smell of it, of course, is going to be incredibly nasty. And your body's the same way. Everything's got to go out to the sanitary sewer. If it doesn't go out, your house is destroyed, okay? Because you can't get that waste material out of the body. The waste material is trapped in the pipes. And over time, that nasty smell is just going to come back up. It's going to be very, very problematic for you. So relate that back to your personal health. You might be 1 day chronically constipated or 2 days chronically constipated. You said, I got the same pipe work. What do I need to do to clean out this pipe work comprehensively? Some of you may look into a colon hydrotherapy, right? I haven't even done this. I don't like enemas myself. I tried them, very uncomfortable. Now, some people, they might have to do this because they're so severely chronically constipated. Me, I prepare a solution that I drink down. The limitations of a colonic or colon hydrotherapy is that it only cleans out the large intestine. It does not reach the small intestine. The protocol that I prepare cleans out both the small and large intestines. So if you don't find this protocol to be good tasting, you can also use a stainless steel straw, okay, to somehow drink this down. There are stainless steel straws you can buy on Amazon, and that's going to help you put it down into your stomach and kind of avoid the taste a little bit. And take a short break before we move on to the next section, which is another important section. How's everyone doing today? Yeah, if you have any questions, just ask your questions, okay? Digestive health problems. Don't be shy. How's everyone doing? Somebody's on my YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Don't be shy, ask your questions. Or you have any comments? Maybe you're on this detoxing journey already. I want to learn more other protocols. So if you are on this kidney detox, if you know how to clean your kidneys, I need to connect with you because I'm doing a protocol right now, but I want to learn more. Because some people, they can get kidney stones over the years, right? And if you don't want that kidney stone removal surgery, you're going to have to find a way to flush out the kidney stones, to restore the functions of your kidneys. That's why I do these videos. I want to connect with other folks, and we want to just kind of bring together a library of great knowledge. And oftentimes, these type of videos could be suppressed, right? So I want you guys to share these videos with your family and loved ones. Tell them to watch it, because most of them are probably struggling with chronic constipation to different degrees. And you just tell them, listen, we need to fix this. I don't care how we fix it, and you're going to have to piece the puzzle together for you. Once you figure out the protocol that is right for you, then you have to do it on a regular basis. You can't just put it off and be like, I'm going to do this every once in a while. It's not so important. No, it is important. It is that important. So YouTube, any questions? Okay, I'm going to keep on going. Today we're going to continue to talk about internal parasites. I don't care how uncomfortable you guys feel about this presentation. Parasites are everywhere, not just in third world countries. They are everywhere in first world countries. People can find parasites in their salmons at Whole Foods. People can find parasites in their Costco salmon. There are many different parasites. We're going to go through a few of them today, but you're going to have to continue to do your own research. Don't just take my word for anything. This is not professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. You're going to have to do your own research. You're going to go to the library, pick up some books on parasitology. Maybe talk to your local professor. There are people that specialize in this field. There are entire museums that are just full of parasites, which I'll discuss today. Over here, this is the liver fluke. Then you have pinworms, tapeworms, and roundworms. Study their life cycle. A lot of these parasites, they first hatch in water. And what they do is they upgrade themselves by attacking different organisms. There are different intermediary hosts, and they always want to work their way up the food chain. They may target a small snail first, extract the nutrients out of the snail, grow to a certain size. After you grow to a certain size, they land themselves in some type of vegetation. The cow or the sheep comes over, they start to consume this vegetation, such as raw watercress, whatever. And The liver fluke continues to survive inside this animal. Not only survive, they thrive. Parasites know how to do two things very well. They know how to survive and replicate. Write that down if you're taking notes. Talk to anybody in the ranching business, cattle business. They're raising cows, they're raising sheep. All over the world, I don't care if you're in Montana, Australia, New Zealand, South Dakota, Idaho. If you are ranching, you're raising cattle, you're going to have to deal with this. Because they know, why is their livestock getting weak? They're losing hair. They're not eating. They're getting emaciated. They're getting sick. Oftentimes, it's liver flukes. Now, when you're consuming raw foods, okay, you are eating undercooked foods. This is how they can get inside your body. Liver flukes, they love to attack the liver. The liver is a storehouse of nutritional value. Pay attention to this. The reason why certain parasites like to target specific organs because it has a lot of nutritional value. Once they get inside your body, that's where they go to. They want to attack this organ to extract the nutrients while they continue to survive and replicate inside of you. That's how they do it. Now, when you talk to most doctors about this topic, they just brush it off. They don't think parasites, a lot of them never study this in medical schools. I'm not kidding you. I'm not joking. And they just kind of brush it off like that it's not important. Or they make you go run in circles, tell you to get different types of tests. And a lot of these tests, they come back negative. I think that is intentional. They do not want you to know about parasites because parasites, they will continue to give you different chronic diseases. It is a big money maker. Anybody that is in business, we're in the business of lifetime customer value. You guys understand? You don't want it to make money one time. You want to get somebody on a consumable product, whether that is medications, whether that is supplements. It is a mess that is out there. So if they can keep you sick, chronically sick, then you're going to be taking all these different types of meds that do not solve the root of the problem. I'm trying to get to the root of the problem. Whatever you're experiencing right now, some people are chronically constipated because they are full of internal parasites. As we are watching a lot of food channels, food networks, people go to these fancy places, Michelin star restaurants, and they serve raw tartare, raw steaks. Tell them this is a delicacy. This is a French version. They also have Korean versions. And a lot of you might be interested in eating Korean barbecue. Listen, I can eat a lot of food. I'm very good at eating. Talk to anybody that I know. If you know me, put them in the comments. I will go to a buffet all by myself. I can eat for hours at a time. And I used to eat a lot of these foods and I undercook them because there might be a time limit at the buffet. There might be a time limit when I go to a hot pot place, right? Or if I'm eating a lot of raw sashimi, raw sushi, raw fish, all these different foods carry a risk because they're undercooked raw meats. Anytime you eat that type of foods, you're putting yourself at risk. Or if you're eating different intestinal products, which are very popular here in Asia, people have to clean these digestive tracts out of the pigs, out of the beef. And inside the digestive tract of this pork, they will see a lot of parasites. Now, if they don't clean it completely, or there's still remnants of parasitic eggs inside the small intestines and you eat them, that's how you can ingest parasites into your body. This is a life cycle of a tapeworm. Tapeworm, they exist in cows, in pork products, and also fish. Okay? This is what they look like under the microscope. You have to know your enemy. Otherwise, how are you going to defeat your enemy, right? And most people, this enemy is not even on their radar. They don't think they exist. They think they live in a first world country. They're like, I can't possibly have this. I'm telling y'all. Tapeworms are extremely problematic. This is what they look like. And they can be full-blown organisms. They can grow to an incredible size. These are the suckers And these suckers, that puts them on your intestinal walls, such as your colon or your small intestines, that gives them a very firm foothold. This is where they suck the life force out of you. This is the rostellum, okay? They attach right into your colon. They're sucking the life force. They suck that blood out of you. They suck your nutritional value. They're taking away your life force. Over here, this is your anatomy. These are the suckers. This is the rostellum. And over here, these are their progonids. Progonids is a reproductive system. These are hermaphrodites. They can reproduce all by themselves. Each one of these progonids can hold up to 100,000 eggs. Pay attention to this. One beef tapeworm, if they have 1,000 progonids, and each progonid can produce 100,000 eggs. Do the math. That's 100 million eggs. Over here, we got a person in Thailand. They pulled a tapeworm that was so long. It was 59 feet, or roughly 18 meters. 18 meters came out of this person of tapeworm. That's only one. Because understand, and they was sitting inside of their digestive tract. How long is 18 meters? Let's go back to basketball, because you guys need to just have a little bit of analogy, right? So over here, coming back to this dunk contest, from that floor to the basketball rim is 3 feet off the floor. Are you with me? The parasite we're dealing with is 18 meters. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. So imagine you're looking at a basketball rim, okay? So from that floor to the basketball rim is 3 meters. Now you're gonna have 5 more on top of that. Altogether 6 NBA hoops, one on top of another. And that was the length of this particular parasite. So some people, they say, I got chronic constipation. I can't figure out what it is. What's wrong with me? Let me tell y'all, some people, your situation is so severe. You have so many parasites sitting inside of you. What we're looking at here, these are roundworms. These are not tapeworms now. Roundworms, they look like spaghetti. Okay? And this, once again, this is not Animal Planet. They had to extract and pull out all these roundworms out of that human colon. Had to do surgery. If you have this many roundworms sitting inside of you, your poop is going to have a very tough time exiting. And that's what parasites love. Parasites, they love to thrive in a very, very dirty environment, because one of the functions of the parasite is to decompose. Okay? Let's just say if an animal dies, you know what's going to attack this animal to break it down, because there is the law of conservation of energy, conservation of mass, right? And that happens through when things die, things comes over to decompose it. Parasites play a big role in that, breaking it down. But later on, you have the bacteria that further breaks it down. Later down, you have the fungus that continues to break it down, back down into dirt, right? And once it becomes dirt, then new growth. It's going to happen to all of us to some point. I'm just saying we're going to push that out as far as possible, okay? And the way we do that is clean ourselves from the inside and put in the proper probiotics, put in the proper nutrition. So we're eating for ourselves. We're not just eating for taste. We're thinking about nutritional value. Here is somebody, they're removing roundworms out of their liver. So roundworms can also attack the liver in addition to liver flukes. So thinking about different risks that you have. A lot of you own pets. Okay, pets, they have a lot of parasites. People are posting cute videos online and they are basically French kissing their pets. You don't know what your dog and cat's doing all day, every day, because some dogs are so stupid, they eat the feces of other dogs. And now you're doing Instagram photos with them or your child, you just let your dog lick their lips. No, you think it's very cute. Listen, that's not cute unless you learn how to deworm your dogs. And so your dogs, and a lot of dogs, they do have parasites. They do. Over here, this is a cat, and the owner is pulling it out, a tapeworm out of this cat. Even the cat is freaked out. Over here, here's an American bully full of worms. Here's a problem with parasites. Parasites are so good at survival replication. They can use the umbilical cord to go to the next generation. I am not joking. That's why you guys gotta learn this. You guys gotta learn. A lot of people, they're dealing with parasites, little young kids. There's a lady, you guys look her up. Her name is the Detox Mama. They're finding liver flukes in their 2-year-old. They're finding all sorts of different parasites inside their children. And a lot of these kids, they're nonverbal. They have very destructive behaviors. They have lack of focus. The teachers tell them they have attention deficit disorder. Well, once they go on some type of detox, the testimonies are crazy. Their kids start to talk. Their kids start to have more of attention. They can listen. Parasites have the ability to go through the umbilical cord. Okay, so I highly recommend for those of y'all, you want to become moms and stuff, you want to focus on detox for a good 5-6 months. Clean out your small and large intestines. Get rid of all the internal parasites sitting inside of you. After that, you may want to go through a liver cleanse. Okay, get really good and proficient with the liver cleanse, and later on kidney cleanses. Because you want to prepare your body, you want to have a clean environment much as possible. Parasites are so destructive they can go outside of your digestive tract, begin to target different parts of your body. This one over here, this is a CT scan. They found that parasites have already gone outside of the digestive tract and begin to attack their muscles. Over here, it has gotten so bad from an MRI scan, the doctors are finding parasites inside person's brains. This is called neural cysticercosis. Neural cysticercosis. And do most doctors look into this? No. They do not look into this. So you have to look at it. And I'm telling y'all, I'm not a doctor myself. I'm just a regular guy. I've helped myself, my family members, and hundreds of people all over the world how to clean their digestive system, how to restore their body functions. Rather than just supplementations, we're thinking about there might be something wrong in my body right now. And it's a combination of waste material not going out, parasites that must be resolved, must be flushed out of the body. When you're traveling around the world, you have to recognize the risks. A lot of you may be traveling to the Amazons, to your ayahuasca ceremonies, or you go to Thailand, Indonesia, very ancient Buddhist architecture. That's great, do all that. But you better go there prepared, because a lot of you don't even know how to filter your own water. You don't know what to bring with you. So when you go there and you come back, you're feeling horrible. And you go to one specialist after the next, and they still can't figure out what's wrong with you. I want you guys to look at a video on YouTube, and this lady, oh my goodness. She had liver flukes, okay? She was in so much pain at the ER. And at the ER, they still couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. Isn't that frustrating? So if you just type in animal planet, okay, liver fluke, I want you guys to look through this. And there are several doctors that were mentioned in this documentary, and you can look them up. You can call them up to confirm it for yourself. Okay? Hopefully I got it. So over here, this was so parasites eat at a woman's liver, causing agonizing pain. Okay? Maybe you can find her on some social media. You can ask her these questions, or you can talk to this doctor. His name was Dr. Basel, and I think he was, here it is. His name is Jeff. I was searching him online. This guy exists. This is not just some random photo. This is not reenacted. So Jeff M. Basil, B-A-S-I, Basil. Jeff M. B-A-S-I-L-E, gastroenterology, okay? And I think he has a practice in South Carolina and Charleston. Look these guys up. Don't take my word for it. Call them up. Call them up, okay? Because they have experience dealing with internal parasites. So rather than just a bunch of speculation, you're like, what is this all about? Okay, so they put a microscope. They were able to put a camera inside of her, and they were able to see this liver fluke just causing a lot of destruction inside her body. That's what we're here for. We want to learn things that are currently off our radar screen. We want to learn how we can get rid of these internal parasites. So I'm about to share with you once again, not professional medical advice, diagnosis or treatment, but just go through over here. These are pinworms. Okay, pinworms are very common in children, also very common in adults. According to PubMed, it's affecting almost 1 billion people worldwide from all socioeconomic classes. That's a lot of people, don't you think? 1 billion? So when you see people that are scratching their behind, okay, discreetly or adults, you can see them scratching. Maybe you're scratching your behind. You may be dealing with pinworms. Now, these are some different herbs or different OTC medications that could be very helpful. I want you guys to look these up. Now, this one is called clove bud, all right? So clove bud, sometimes they put them in powder form, tincture form. These could be very helpful in eliminating some parasite infections. Over here, wormwood has been used as a traditional herbal medicine to treat different parasite infections. This is Vermox or Mebendazole. I want you guys to look up this word, Mebendazole. This is OTC in many parts of the world. You do not need a prescription. In most places, this is very, very inexpensive as well because they're just generics. And these could treat roundworms, whipworms, pinworms, and hookworms. Over here, I've been buying these Mebendazole here in Asia. This is black walnut and wormwood. This is in tincture form. And over here, this is in powder form. Not powder, this is in pill form. And of course, you got to check with your doctors, naturopathic doctors, integrated medicine. Make sure it doesn't have any drug-to-drug interaction with your taking now, right? Over here, these are prescription strength. This one is definitely, you need a doctor's prescription, albendazole. Today, we only discuss full-blown organisms. There are parasites that are even more problematic. There are single-cell protozoans. For example, malaria is a form of parasitic infection. You guys go look that up. Okay, and there are ones that are problems that could go behind the back of your eye and cause blindness. There are many different parasites. So study up on these different herbal blends, OTC medications, prescription strength, work with your doctor, and find the winning combination for yourself. Now, I don't recommend you guys just listen to this presentation and be like, oh, I'm just going to buy these meds and start taking them. It doesn't make any sense. Here's my reasoning. You need to first clean out this pipework. Very, very thoroughly, consistently. You know what to expect. Week in, week out. You got to have the confidence of flushing out your small and large intestines, giving yourself a fresh start. Eating some probiotics, eating some healthy foods to rebuild yourself back up. If you were to just jump into these different types of medications, OTC, herbal blends, however, you're still dealing with this problem. You're still the picture on the left. You haven't resolved chronic constipation. But now you are taking these different meds. You have to deal with the dead parasites sitting inside of you. Do you guys know what I'm talking about here? You're adding problems on top of problems. You want to divide and conquer your problems first. You want to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. Then you have the confidence of saying, okay, if I were to take these medications, different herbal blends, then after I take them, I'm still going to do John's self-flush protocol so I can flush out all the dead parasites inside my digestive tract. Because if you don't, you may end up like that guy in Thailand. Okay, the guy in Thailand, he's got that 59 feet, that 18-meter parasite. They were gradually just pulling out of his rectum. You may have that kind of parasites inside of you right now. Okay, and that could be a root reason why you still have chronic constipation, even though you've been taking the laxatives, you've been taking this prescription strength. But your chronic constipation continues to persist because look at all that trash, right? It is causing blockages, causing obstruction in your pipework. So divide and conquer your problems one at a time. Clean out the small and large intestines. And over time, you have that routine in. Then you deal with the parasites. You may take those medications a couple days in a row. So for Membezidil, for the Vermox, right? What you do is you take them 3 days in a row. Once in the morning, once in the evening. Do it 3 days. And on the 4th day, what I do is I do my self-flush protocol on a Saturday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm taking this. On the Saturday, I have every bit of confidence I'll be able to flush out all the dead parasites out of my body, giving my body a fresh start. Does that make sense? So I'm going to jump to my comments, making sure you guys don't have any questions for me. Don't be shy. So what's interesting, my Rumble is not working so well. I clicked an extra button today. If you guys know how to work this, you let me know. Because before I definitely would be streaming, but as this one streams real choppy. No worries. Let's see if anybody's on my Facebook. So, I just want to introduce to you guys who I am. My name is John. Regular guy, okay? And the last couple of years, I've fixed chronic constipation for myself, my family members, and hundreds of other people using the protocol that I discussed earlier. And I usually market it as weight loss because it did help me lose weight. Years ago, this was me, I could not lose weight. Had a personal trainer, had a workout plan, going to the gym very regularly. Could not achieve the 6-pack, okay? It was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Very frustrating. And I was dealing with chronic constipation at that time. Once you fix chronic constipation, once you start to upgrade your internal organs, by eliminating internal parasites, your metabolism just goes right back up. You just start burning calories left and right. Your body just begins to slim down without you even trying. This is me all year round, okay? This is me before you can see inflammation around the face. When your body is inflamed, it holds on to excess fat and water. That's what happens. When your body is inflamed from chronic constipation or you have internal parasites, realize that your internal parasites still have to use the bathroom inside of you. Have you guys thought about that? So imagine you have all these worms, right? You are dealing with a plethora of internal parasites sitting inside of you. And every last one of them, of these internal parasites, they still have to use the bathroom. Where do they go? They go inside your digestive tract. And people wonder, oh, what is the real root cause of my diverticulitis? What's the real root cause of my Crohn's disease? Okay, earlier in the presentation we talked about, oh, you may have these different medical conditions right in your digestive tract. It starts to develop all these pouches, becomes inflamed and infected. Well, could parasites have a lot to do with it? Well, if this thing is completely stagnant because poop is not going out, on top of that you have internal parasites thriving inside of you. That's why they do not want you to know about parasites, because they can keep on making money telling you to take corticosteroids, or they'll do these medical procedures because now you have diverticulitis and say, oh, go for this procedure. We'll cut you off right there, cut it up, but we know how to reattach it. Listen, your body, everything is designed with a purpose. It's not to be cut off. Don't think like that, okay? Now, I was also sharing, listen, what you guys gotta do, try my protocol. If it works, get my protocol, support me, right? I have many other programs or different PDFs that you can download as well. You guys just click over here. Over here, I got a PDF right here that deals with internal parasites. Got a one here that deals with improving your liver health. I got the whole protocol in there. If you pay attention to I got it all in there. I'm going to take you to a Google Drive doc. They'll tell you exactly what I do to clean out the liver. And over here, this is just like an intro to your digestive system, how you clean it out. And if you were lead, you can also give me a tip, right? If you're a lead, I also have one-on-one coaching. We're going to get on a call, figure out what you're currently struggling with to see if we're a right fit. If we're a right fit, then I'm going to lay out design your whole protocol, okay, through a 4-week process. I'm going to get on a call every single week, kind of follow through. You got to follow through on these protocols. And a lot of you don't pay any attention to any of this until you invest in yourself, right? So that was the case for me as well. I have invested in so many books, in coaches, and a lot of them, they were just detours. I'm helping y'all to stop the fucking detours of your life when it comes to your digestive health. To fix your digestive health, get the waste material out. Later on, you're going to learn about how to get rid of your internal parasites, but we're not going to stop there. You're going to learn how to improve the conditions of your liver. I have done this protocol 43 times, okay? You got to learn this part right here. This is your liver, this is your gallbladder, and most people cannot put this together. I know how to put it all together. I know how to get the gallstones out of the body. I know these pipe work very, very well. So that's something that we can discuss as well, because I don't know where you are right now in your detox journey. Some of you, you may be doing very well with your self-flush protocols already. Some of you are already on your liver cleanse, on your parasite cleanse. But some of you have no idea how to clean out this organ. Do not know how to clean out the gallbladder. Do not know how to clean out the liver, because you never really studied this. And that's what we do on these one-on-one calls. I can educate you and also put out a protocol that is just right for you, okay? Because we all have these gallstones trapped inside our gallbladder and possibly liver. They're called intrahepatic stones. And there's a lot to learn. Once we understand how this works, we can avoid these gallbladder attacks, because most people, this is way too long. They don't pay attention to this. They put it off for so long, and finally they get some type of a gallbladder attack. They get a gallbladder attack, and now the doctors say we're going to have to remove the whole gallbladder, because there's, in the medical world, there is no other option. I'm telling y'all, there are other options that are out there. I'm going to give you guys the book, if I can pull up the book that I read. Liver and Gallbladder Miracle Cleanse by Andreas Moritz. Now, just like I said, you don't have to use this protocol. And even my protocol is slightly different from this guy's protocol, right? Because I learned through a lot of my mistakes through flushing out my gallbladder 43 times, and I do it every 2 weeks. So that's why I'm telling you, every single week of the year, I'm doing some type of detox protocol. I'm either doing my liver cleanse protocol, or I'm doing my self-flush protocol, or I'm doing a parasite cleanse followed by the self-flush protocol. So I really look forward to hearing from you. I'm going to leave all these links to my program below. You guys can check them out. You know, so some of these PDFs are completely free, but if you feel inspired to give me a couple dollars for these PDFs, because I had to put a lot of time, you know, and you can connect with me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter or X, whatever you call it. You can DM me directly, and from there we can go back and forth. Whether if we jump on a Zoom call, I can help you on your journey, right? And that's what I do now. So thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to connecting with you in the comments below, and or in my DMs on Instagram or on my Twitter. You have an amazing rest of your weekend. Look forward to the week ahead. And I wish you and your family blessings with your health, vibrant health. I wish you and your family vibrant health. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon.